Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. My name's Keltie. I'm virtually beside the beautiful Wow remix. How's it going?
Remix. I'm good. I had a fabulous morning. You know, honestly, I have been just trying to get in as much beach time as possible because we are heading out for a couple months and we are like, when else are we going to be able to go swimming at 7 a.m., right?
Wow, must be a dream. Can't relate.
How's your morning?
Hectic. It's been crazy. I got up at 5, sprinted to I'm doing a reformer Pilates challenge, so I had to sprint to go do that, then sprint back, pack, because I didn't have time to pack last night because I got home at 11, then sprinted here to film, and I leave in 15 minutes to the airport. So,
because where are you going? Is that
I'm
LA?
going back to Edmonton.
Edmonton. Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to see your mom and brother.
Yeah, because when I went back to visit, it was just more of a Meg's meet the family moment. And I only got like 2 days with my mom. And when I left, like she's always sad when I leave. But when I looked back, my mom was bawling her eyes out. And my heart crushed. And I instantly booked a ticket. I looked, it was like $100. I was like, yes. I was like, I didn't even know if I could make it. But I was like, worst comes worst, I lose $100. And then honestly, to stop my mom crying, I'm like, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do.
That's honestly the worst part is like, I get this, I call it like the slumps or something. And like Michael knows it happens every time when my parents leave or I leave my parents, I'm sad. I'm like just mopey. I'm not as like upbeat. And he just knows every single time, whether my mom or my dad. I remember my dad came and we both cried. And like my dad, usually we're like, okay. And like, see, I don't know why. Some days it's just worse than others. But yeah, it is really sad when you like, if you think about it, we grew up living under our parents' roof and seeing them every single day. And then all of a sudden you only see them at holidays or, you know, you only get to see them for a selected amount of time. And it just like breaks my heart. And people that live near their family are so lucky. And, you know.
And you don't even realize you're lucky. Because when I used to live by your parents, I'd go home every Sunday and it was just kind of like, oh, I got to go eat dinner with the family. And I'd get there and it was nice. But now I'm like, what I would do to be able to go every Sunday to my mom's house. Oh my God. I would do anything for it. So friendly reminder, call your mom, go visit her and just be like, yeah.
And your dad.
Hug him.
And your siblings.
Sorry, force a habit. Just say my mom.
Yeah. Like, oh, can't forget if people have dads, grandmas, grandpas, everybody.
True.
Cousins. I talked to my cousin. Honestly, I have gotten really close to my cousin Heidi. You met her at my wedding. I love her.
She's awesome.
She's like, I think she's turning 50 this year, but she has like, in my mind, stayed 30 forever. She also looks 30, but it's fun because like the wedding brought us really close and I'm like, okay, I grew up with you. Like you are a lot older than I am. You were like 20 when I was older than 20 when I was born, and I grew up with her as like a fun cousin, and now I'm like, we're friends, and I think I just love that.
It's crazy when you have older cousins. Like my older cousins are still 25 in my mind, and they're in their 40s with kids, and I'm like, no, you're like a wild 20-year-old. I'm like, oh
Literally.
No, we switched. I'm who you were.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
It's the trippiest thing. But with that being said, since you do have a flight to catch, should we get into today's podcast?
We should. And it just seems only appropriate. What is August? August is like back to school, back to work. We're getting back to routine. So it's kind of in the horizon. We're planning. We're not fully into it. And what's the most token get back into routine than a morning routine? And what do influencers love doing? Making you feel inferior because they get paid to do a morning routine.
Literally. I love those realities of morning routines when it's like them getting out of bed, fixing their hair, propping the camera, getting back in bed. Because I mean, reality is that's what you have to do. They're like, oh, that's super fake. How else are you going to record that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Let's be real.
You have a 5 a.m. get ready with me, wake up. You're waking up at 4:50, resetting the alarm clock. Honestly, props to the influencers, YouTubers who you know literally wake up a minute before and they have their camera beside and they just whip it. There's a couple and you can tell when it happens. I'm like, you are committed to the bit because like I need at least 2 minutes before I can even like figure out what city I'm in, let alone grab my camera.
You know, I'm filming a morning routine for YouTube yesterday, and I set my alarm for 6, and I just left my vlogging camera right next to it. Yeah. And honestly, when the alarm went off, I'm like half asleep, and I literally just click it, and I just like record the 6 a.m. and then I like snooze it. But then I show when I actually get up is like 6:30. I like to lay in bed for like 30 minutes and like cuddle Michael and Bentley. And Michael woke up at 5:46 today because I was charging his phone on my side, and so it woke me up. And then he said he stayed awake. And I didn't wake up till 7. I was like, wow, you're just laying there. He's like, I was watching you sleep. It was so peaceful. Like he was trying to joke, but I think he actually was.
Oh,
cute,
so
right? I was like, oh,
so cute. So cute.
Yeah. Nice little honeymoon phase
nice.
still. I told him he owes me a real honeymoon because we haven't done a honeymoon yet. So when we go to Europe, right? I was like, we're balling out. He's like, he's using his points to get first class. And he has points. Everybody always thinks like, oh, he balls out on these first class. No, it's points. It's free.
Nice.
And he was like, I mean, I was getting us first class for the honeymoon. I'm like, that's just because it's points. I want you to wine and dine me. You married me. Come on.
I want you to feel the credit card burn. That's what marriage is.
Literally. I'm like, I don't have to pay for the honeymoon. I paid for a lot of this wedding.
Exactly. And that is what
my dress.
Marriage is. The man pays for everything. No, just kidding. Don't come for me.
Don't. Canceled. But you know, I still do expect him to pay for like my dinners when we go out. I'm always like, thank you.
You can never stop dating. That's the rule. No. Never stop dating.
Always date your wife.
Married. Always
I agree.
Keep them on their toes, because you know what? You could date someone else, and he needs to remember that.
I bet somebody like that has been in a relationship for 10 years married or whatever are just like shaking their heads at us that we're trying to say that when like you're not married and I have only been married like 6 months.
That's true. But I just also know myself.
Been together a long time.
I just know myself. I'm like, don't you dare stop dating me. I want you to like ask me out on dates once a week.
Yeah.
I want to feel 18 the rest of my life. And it's your responsibility.
Tell me I'm pretty. I want you to gaze at me. I want you to still think like, wow, she's a hot commodity. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because we are. Ladies, you are.
Damn right. Every woman. Mm-hmm. We're perfect. Each and every one of us. Perfect.
Yeah. Who says you're not pretty? Selena Gomez.
Classic.
Yeah.
Who is one of Taylor Swift's best friend? See?
I know.
From me.
Good job.
See, I want praise.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies, and she just had a rare beauty event at Taylor Swift's concert in LA, and Whitney Simmons' storage. She gotta go. That girl, I know. I think she's gone to like 4 eras, like to our concerts. I swear, but I'm so jealous. I was watching her stories all day. I was like, Michael, this is the coolest thing ever.
I would say if I had to think like, where's the crossroads aside from them being best friends of Eras Tour and Rare Beauty? Where's that crossover? I'd be like Whitney. I was like, that's the perfect. That's her. That sums up. That's such. I'm like, I can't. As soon as you said it, I was like, of course she's there. Like that might be her event. That's the most Whitney thing ever.
I know.
Let's get back to the topic at hand: morning routines.
Okay, morning routines. Squirrel.
So we just thought it'd be fun to just do a hot or not for all the classic morning routine tips or things you see influencers doing, and what they're actually doing for the camera. What we actually think is beneficial, and then what we actually do that we think, because really a morning routine is just like start your day so your day is good. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes morning routines are more work than your actual work. They're just supposed to make your work day easier at the end of the day. So
I think
go on.
I think online they almost want you to feel like shit if you don't have this beautiful curated Pinterest morning routine. So we're the girlies that are going to tell you what's fake and what you should actually keep.
Or I don't even think it's these influencers who are like try and make people feel bad. I think it's this rat race that's happened. That's like, oh, look how pretty hers is. Well, mine's got to be prettier. And like people have lost the plot, and everyone's just trying to one up each other on prettiness, most aesthetic, that like none of this is practical. So we need to scale it back. So I thought the first thing we got to start off with 5 a.m. wake up, but not just specifically the 5 a.m. wake up. Why does every single person have it on their laptop screen? You know the classic, they open laptop screen, it's the black, white, and it says 5 a.m.? Who's waking up at 5 a.m. opening their laptop to check the time and not their phone?
That's a good point. I also don't even know how to get that like aesthetic. I've never even tried to on my laptop.
It's a plugin you got to pay for, and it probably gives you a virus.
You got to pay for that?
No, it's a plugin. You're not paid. There's paid ones, but yeah, you just go on Google if you want it, and just type in like aesthetic MacBook screensaver clock, and it will come up. And like I've done it for just making a thumbnail, and I'm like, this definitely gave me a virus. So yeah, all those influencers have sold their data for that 5 a.m. shot.
Yeah. So are we gonna say it's hot or not?
I think it's so impractical. Quit it. We need to quit it.
I agree.
Look at your phone like a normal person.
Also, I think we should normalize, you do not have to get up at like 5 a.m. to be like have a successful morning routine. It is okay if you want to get up at 8 or whatever it is. I feel like for a really long time, Michael and I would do the 5 a.m.s because we were working on West Coast when we lived in California. Now that we're East Coast and Atlantic time, it's like we really don't wake up that early because Michael, like, he starts his day on Pacific time. So it's nice because then we get to go to the beach till like 10 and then it's still 7 his time, you know, to work. Yeah. But just know that, like, I feel like I've talked to some of my friends that are like, I feel so bad I wake up so late. And I'm like, that's fine. That's your schedule. Who's to say that you can't be successful if you wake up later? I mean, my friend Christy, I was like, let's go for a walk at 11. And she was like, I don't get up till noon. But she stays up late because she works like Pacific time. So I was like, all right, girl, good to know.
Yeah. And it all comes down to when you're most productive. Like some people are productive in the morning, some at night. Like Megs is really productive at night. So he'd rather sleep in and be more productive. And like I'm a 5 a.m. person, but I'm a cheater. The only reason I wake up at 5 a.m. is because when I'm jet lagged, I get an upper hand and I naturally wake up at 5 a.m. And then I just keep it going. So because I travel so much and Pacific time is the last time. So wherever I travel, I get screwed. So if I wake up early Pacific time, it's less of a burden whenever I travel. But when I'm like in Sweden, I sleep until 6 or 7. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So I'm not a true 5 a.m. It's just more I'm like, I got to wake up now so I don't in a week sewer myself with jet lag. So nothing magical about 5 a.m.
Yeah. All right. So quit it. Unless you have like, 7 a.m. start and you got to get up. There is a girl on TikTok. I don't know her name, but I love her, and she went viral for 3 a.m. wake ups.
I know who you're talking
about. Do you know
what
I'm talking about? She's so funny.
She's
and like
great.
She's not aesthetic at all. That's what I love about her. She's just a relatable girly.
Yeah. And then some people, like you said, or like when I bartended, I got home from work at 3 a.m. So everyone's different.
Yeah, that's true.
So next one, making the bed right away. What are your thoughts?
I make the bed no matter what every day because I am crazy and I like the aesthetic look in my like, what is this, bedroom? But I don't make it right away. I kind of ignore it for the first hour, and then once I get ready for the day, then I make my bed. But I actually think keep it, hit it, because I think it's one little accomplishment you can get through in the morning to kind of motivate you to get your day started. What do you think?
I was one of those people that read a self-help book a decade ago that said first thing when you do, wake up, make your bed. So I started it at a very formative age, and so now I physically get out of bed and make my bed. I never think about it, so it's not like a thing I'm like, oh, I feel bad I didn't make my bed. It just kind of autopilot happens. But for those who don't make the bed right away, it's actually more hygienic to wait about half an hour, because if you're sweaty and then you make the bed, it kind of traps it all in there. So it's a little better to get out of the bed, let it air out, and then make your bed. So if you're not a make your bed right away kind of person, don't feel guilty. You're more hygienic. Or you can be like me and it's just autopilot, because some bro told me to when I was 18.
There you go. All right, what's 3?
Okay, have anyone noticed and it does look so pretty, but every influencer's morning routine right now starts with they're right by their window, they open it, and they do the big elongated stretch. I was like, are we all actually stretching right then? Or are we all stretching in our bed and then we're getting up and is it just for the shot? Or are people actually getting up, opening their blinds and doing a big stretch? Yeah,
I don't do it. I definitely do the downward dog in the bed.
Same.
You do? Yeah, it's
I do.
It's
I
so
do
nice.
Child pose. I do the child pose.
Or child's pose. That's what I mean. Yeah, not downward dog. That would actually be hard to balance. But I've never once stretched looking out maybe. I say quit it in the sense of you don't have to do it. I think a lot of it's just fake.
It's just a pretty shot. That's one of those things. It's a pretty shot. No one does it. It's a beautiful shot. Like, I've done it a few times. I'm like, oh, that is nice. I like that angle. I look good. Like,
calming.
But that's all it is. But am I actually doing it? No, I'm not doing it without the camera.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Next one. The shower with the eucalyptus leaf in it. Thoughts?
I've never done that. I love eucalyptus. I used to keep essential oils in my shower, and I would just drop eucalyptus oil in there, but I've never actually done the shower hack. I think keep it because it seems amazing, but I've never done it because I'm lazy and I don't know where to buy eucalyptus on this island. What do you do?
I love it, but I think it's a gateway drug for me because it looks so pretty and minimalist and clean, but plants are a funny thing. There's the line of like, you got some plants in your house and they're green and they make it luxurious and like nature's inside. And then you go over and then you have a jungle inside. And you know what I mean? And I know myself, I get one plant. I'm like, ooh, I need another. I've seen friends go down that path. And then I was like, you no longer have a house. You live in a forest. So
That's
I
fair.
love the eucalyptus, but I'm nervous because I think it's a gateway drug for me. So not for me. But I wish I could be that person.
That's me with seashells. I collect way too many seashells and I don't know what to do with them, but I just like having them. Literally, it's an obsession.
I feel a lot of people, everyone has that one friend with a lake house that's full of seashells. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole aesthetic, like on the walls, in the bathroom.
I have it everywhere. Bathroom, I have my really pretty ones out in the living room, and then I have them lined up around my pool. So, like, I have this little rock trench I made, and it was to, like, prevent water from coming into our house. But I was like, I'm going to sprinkle all of my favorite seashells I collect. And Michael's here for it. He loves it. He's always like, all right, what'd you catch today? And he'll, like, whenever he goes spearfishing, he'll give me a big old shell because he'll usually go deeper than I will. And there's some big ones.
I love that. I love that. You're my friend that has a seashell aesthetic. You know, I said everyone has the one friend. You're my friend right now. I had one growing up, and you're mine now. I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
And next up, it's classic. What you do, you get out of your bed, you make your bed. Some hop in the shower, but then bam, morning skincare routine. Perfectly manicured, but not even just morning skincare, lip classic, vitamin C, moisturizer, sunscreen. I mean, the gua sha, the face roller. They got the face massage going on. You mean they got the whole machine apparatus. Thoughts?
I mean, for me, I quit it. I need a simple, minimalistic skincare routine that takes me 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will not do it. I love it in theory. It's not my thing. So I say quit it. I feel like you're going to disagree.
No, I say quit it. I need a simple, I need a simple thing in the morning. I just do a vitamin C, a moisturizer and oil just because I'm so dry, and then a sunscreen. I've done challenges where I've done the gua sha. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, this is part of work. I'm filming it, doing it. But as soon as that challenge is done, I'm like, I've got no time to sit here. And then I do, though, on the weekend try and do it. Because I'm like, it's nice. But I just can't be bothered for more than 5 minutes to... I will never not do my skincare because I'm crazy. But I just don't have the time to do a 20, 30-minute thing. It looks luxurious. Like some people do eye masks.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
Oh, and especially like when you see like Hailey Bieber and the models, and that's their job, their face. They got like half an hour to just do it. I'm like, that seems lovely. But also, I think I would kind of hate it. That's a lot of work.
It is.
So, quit it, but wish I could hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got the time, hit it up. And if you care.
True.
Sometimes I just take an ice cube and I just roll it up on my face.
That's one of the nicest feelings. It's not great for your skin because if you hold it too long, it can cause like nerve damage or burn your skin. But when I'm hungover,
lovely.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was like, when I'm hungover, that's my biggest hack is just take an ice cube and like massage the puffiness. Because you could use like a ice roller. But they don't stay cold. First, the ice cube obviously stays cold.
Do you remember at my bachelorette party, you came back from a run because you're an overachiever, and we're all hungover from going out, and then it was Megan, Keltie, and I all are sitting on the couch with just freaking huge ice cubes, like crying hungover. And I remember because Keltie and I shared a bed. And so she woke up when I woke up and I was like, I need to ice my face. She's like, great idea. Comes downstairs. Megan texts me from because it was 3 stories and was like, do you want to ice your face? And I'm like, already doing it, bitch. Get up here. And then you come back from a run and we're like, we hate you.
That was when I was on my run streak, so that was not an impressive run. That was like why did
Sad
I do
run.
this to myself? Now I'm not so much that person. I'm kind of always that person.
You are always that person. Houston,
I just can't.
You're always up.
Yeah, it's just what I do. It's just what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm that bitch. And I don't like being that bitch. I'll never be that bitch who came back and like, oh my God, you guys should have been up for the sunrise. It was so, I'm like, no, I hate this fact about me. I get up and I'm like, I'm bored. I need to burn off some energy. And then I could just be a normal, even energied human. It's just a O'Connor trait.
Keltie has this thing, you guys, that she wants to be alone for like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning. And you leave me in the dust. You're like, I'm going to need to go walk or whatever because you got to process your thoughts. And I'm always, if you're the needy friend like me, you're like, but I want to join. And I just know you're not. You're too independent for me. And I'm like, okay, bye. I guess I'm going to sleep in. That's what I do.
I'm sorry. I'm just that. I just need that 30 minutes.
I've gotten used to it. It's okay.
Yeah. It's who I am. Like I said, I need to burn through that energy. And I wake up with 80 trillion thoughts. I'm like, I need to write these down. I need to burn off that energy. And then I can talk. Otherwise, I'm just kind of a bitch. I'm self-aware.
I know. I tried joining you at one time. You were like, no, I do it myself. I was like,
I just need it. Everyone has, that's my boundary. That's the one boundary I've set for myself. I was like, I just need this. Just trust me. This is why I'm nice. Everyone's like, you're so nice. And like, I'm like, no. I get rid of evil Keltie in the morning and then I become nice.
Yeah, there you go. It's all fake.
It is.
Until,
I just run away.
Go
Throw her off a bridge every morning.
Yeah, there you go. All right, hit us with the next one.
Oh, the classic. Is it a fitness routine without lemon water? It's got to be the shot with the ice cubes, lemon water squeeze. Thoughts, lemon water first thing when you wake up.
I say, oh my gosh, I just saw the biggest iguana in my backyard. And I hope that bitch does not go in my pool.
Can't relate.
Yeah, I just like look over and I see like just this reptile looking tail. I say hit it if that's your thing. Mm-hmm. I used to do it when I would buy lemons. I also just really, really like lemons and limes. Like I just drink now tequila and lime. I'll put lime on everything as my dressing. So if you're like me and love it, do it. But like I also don't really see much of a benefit doing it or not doing it. I don't notice the difference. What about you?
Well, first, I wake up so thirsty, so I need to chug water. So it's kind of like my body's thirsty. You just went that long without drinking. It makes sense. The thing with lemons is they're amazing. They taste great, and they're like crazy high percent of vitamin C, which if you look into the studies, vitamin C for longevity and disease prevention. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say it. I'm just saying do your own research with vitamin C. Lemons, a ton. So it's just like, wow, natural vitamin C just popping in there. And it tastes great, so if it gets you to drink water. And some people who like to have salt in their water in the morning, it kind of makes it a bit more palatable, a little lemon salt. But is it going to improve your metabolism and your digestion? No, I think that's a bunch of hogwash. I was like, I think it's just a nice way to romanticize your water. It's not a miracle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
some vitamin C. It's
completely agree.
But I love a fun water. But I just hate people who are like, make it like this miracle thing. I'm like, it's just lemon.
This is how I lost 10 pounds.
Oh God.
There's always those people.
Like this is why I'm thin, because my metabolism's so high from drinking this lemon water. I'm like, shut up.
Just shut up.
Stop talking. You're just enjoying lemons in your water. It's not that deep.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that deep.
Okay, speaking of something that could also trigger a lot of people, matcha instead of coffee.
I mean, I say quit it just because, like, I like coffee. I like matcha, but I don't honestly care about the benefits, versus coffee or matcha versus coffee.
Yeah.
I just think it's dumb. I don't know. I'm like, if you want your caffeine and both of them have caffeine, then just do it.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I guess, like, some people do get, like, anxiety or jitters or something, or it hurts their stomach from coffee. And I'm like, it's an alternative. That's great. But stop telling me not to drink coffee right when I wake up, because it's my favorite part of the day. I don't care if it makes my mood crash in a couple hours. I live my life for that morning cup of coffee, and I don't care what happens about it, so I'm not giving it up. Now, matcha, I also love. So my rationale, and everyone comes for me this, I'll have my coffee, and in an hour, I might have a matcha. I consume a lot of caffeine, and it's my own cross to bear. It's not health advice. It's just a fact of life. I bartended for many years and grew an insane caffeine intolerance. And so I say, don't make me change my coffee for matcha, I will just have matcha after my coffee, like a psychopath.
Yeah. I do sometimes I'll make matcha midday. I'll go through phases where I love matcha and then I like don't want it. When Kat was over, she was like, do you have matcha? Like she wanted to have it in the morning. Yeah. And I was like, I think. And this matcha was so old. It's like 2 or 3 years old. Weirdly not expired. So she said it tasted fine. But I like found it in like the crevice of my like kitchen. And I was like, oh, here you go. Yeah. Hopefully it tastes good.
Me and Megs went through a matcha phase in July. And then I make my AG1 like matcha every day. So I have a fake matcha and it's just my greens powder. So that's...
With milk or something to make it like
Yes, I make it with milk and a little honey. And then I lie that it's a matcha. It's actually lovely. Like some green powders don't do that with because they taste like fish. But personally, I think AG1 just tastes like healthy. It just tastes like kind of greeny, which like it tastes like matcha. So I'm like, I will pretend this is a matcha.
Yeah. I have one little bone to pick with AG1. Michael and I wanted to start like greens and I was like, oh, I have tried AG1 from my friend Denise and I really liked it. And we used to, we were big fans of this doctor. He believes in like alkalized diets. And so he wrote this book called Get Off Your Acid and he has greens. And there's like this citrus flavor that actually is like not too bad at first. You're a little gaggy and then you get used to it. And we loved it because it was pure ingredients. Like it's like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't taste good. It's just like nothing that's going to harm you. And it was, I think at the time, like $30 for like 30 servings. Now it's like 80 or 100. And so I was like, okay, well, let me see AG1. AG1's around that price. And I was baffled because if you are a family of 2, you're dropping a lot of money on greens.
I will say AG1 isn't considered a greens powder. That's where I was like, that's where it does get a lot of like
What is it considered?
Flack. People like consider it like they just are like, oh, it's just your fruits and vegetables. It's actually, this is not a product deal. The reason I do a sponsorship with AG1 is because I actually am obsessed with this product and I want it free for myself. And I also send it to my family, friends. It's like 8 health products in one. So yeah, it's your green powder. You'll get all your different super fruits and vegetables, but it's also adaptogen. So it's got mushroom blends and all that. It has digestive enzymes. It's a prebiotic. It's a probiotic. So there's actually, so think of it less of a green powder as versus you're getting your green powder and your adaptogens and your magnesium and your probiotics and your prebiotics. So it's actually 8 products. So that's why it is expensive. Okay. But when you look at the nutritional label, and that's why people are like, how dare you sell a product that's $100? I'm like, no. I'm selling you 8 products for $100. Like, I'm not I guess I am a salesperson in a way, but that's why it is so expensive. But
okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
And it's made in New Zealand and NSF certified. So like, it's just nice to know every single one of those ingredients is like the highest quality. So that's why I love it. And that's why it's so expensive.
That makes sense. Also, I apologize if anybody hears my dog just like coughed up a hairball and then they're building a home like behind us. So you'd think I'm in New York, but I'm not. Yeah, so just apologize if you hear something that sounds like what's it called? What's the drill? Jackhammer. / Bentley coughing something up. Phlegmy. Lovely.
Just some background noise. I love it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Perfect. Next one. The most classic of the morning routines. Meditating in the morning. Thoughts?
I say hit it. But don't hit it if it's not your thing. Like, I don't know. I used to do it every morning. And then it didn't really make me happy. So now when I meditate, I really meditate when I need it. Like I was really anxious. I had stuff going on with my health. And so I was just really anxious this one weekend before a doctor's appointment. And Michael met up with a buddy and I was like, Bentley and I are going to go walk the beach. And I sat on the beach and it was sunset. And I listened to a positive thoughts 10-minute meditation on YouTube. And it was amazing. I felt so good after it, better than I've ever felt than when I wake up and meditate. I think it just might not be my time to do that. I just don't find joy in the morning sitting in silence. Someone was like, I want to get my day started. I'm impatient. Yeah. So for me, I would quit it, but keep the meditation to another time.
Yeah, I like that.
What about you?
I've never gotten into the full. I did do this one when I was in Toronto. I was super stressed. I remember I'd lay on the floor for a minute and just lay there, and I did nothing. And I was just like, just kind of visualize some things. So if that counts, I will do a meditation challenge. I have started deep breaths when I get really bad anxiety, like the double inhale, exhale, which is breathing, not meditating. But I would say that morning run walk I talked about, that is my meditation. Like that's for whatever reason I can't do it sitting, so I always call it like movement meditation. But like that's where I think that's all meditation is. It's kind of block out the noise, get reconnected with yourself, balance. And that's why like I need that. So I guess I was like, I do have my meditation time. It's just I like to be outside moving versus inside with other people, lack of better terms. So that's what works for me.
Yeah, I like it.
And next up, journal. Spend some time journaling every morning.
That's not my thing. I say quit it. But there's some people, my mom loves to journal. I think she journals like almost every day. She jokes that like she has all these journals and one day she's going to give them to me. I'm like, I can't wait to read all of your thoughts. You better not talk shit about me, Sharon.
She probably will. And then
Definitely
you're like,
will.
I was shitty that day to my mom. I feel bad now.
Yeah. Well, this morning I'm talking to her and I told her, I was like, I honestly think I have ADHD. Like my brother clinically did have ADHD. And I'm like, I cannot sit still. I have to multitask. Like all these things that people talk about that they have it. I'm like, this is me. And she was getting mad because I was multitasking, talking to her on the phone and emptying the dishwasher, and it was really loud. And she was like, I'm sitting down talking to my daughter. Can you just sit down and talk to me? And so I'm sitting down, then I'm filing my nails. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot sit still. I cannot focus on one thing. I have to multitask. And it drives her bonkers. So I know she's going to write that in her diary.
Yeah, now you know. Now you know.
Are you a journal girly?
Yes and no. I do every morning write on my iPad because I'm the exact same way. I have a trillion thoughts and I just have to be like, this is the most biggest priority of the day. This is what you like. I brain dump in the morning. I just kind of organize what I'm going to do. And then I never really journal, and I used to kind of feel bad because we were like, dump your thoughts. But whenever I'm out on that walk or run, half the time I'm stopping and writing things down. And it's usually video ideas. I write a lot of my songs on the go in that. So I'm like, I guess I am kind of journaling, but not enough. Yeah. I'm going to sit here and journal. And that works for some people. But for me, I find I just have Notion on my phone and I just brain dump. Like any thought, I'm like, capture this, write this down, come back to it later. And that is a lot better than me sitting there and be like, how did I feel today? I'm like, this is how I'm feeling right now. And
what is like, Notion?
It's like it's kind of like ClickUp or one of those like software, but it's a lot more just it's blank white spaces and you can customize it. So I just have I have one that's journal of thoughts and one that's song lyrics. And usually when I'm in a feeling, I'm like I'm going to write about this. And that's what I do.
It's like a bubble map. Do you remember doing those in school? Bubble maps.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, the classic beautiful breakfast.
Oh, like the aesthetic breakfast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The classic.
Yeah. Mine does not ever look that way. I'm like literally thinking I'm like I have eggs and pancakes because we're leaving for months. So I'm like, I'm not going to go buy a bunch of stuff. Yeah. No, mine's never aesthetic. I'm very honest about that. Yeah. So quit that. What about you?
Yeah, no, it's either a bunch of eggs and stuff stuffed in a wrap. It's a bowl of oatmeal, everything thrown out, or I'm grabbing a breakfast sandwich on the go. And I do try and make it pretty on the weekends when I got some time, but I'm like, the whole time I'm not enjoying it. Because I'm like, you could be doing, like, I just have ideas in the morning. Like, I'm a morning person work-wise. So I'm like, why would I waste this on my breakfast? I can waste these thoughts and beautifulness on a video. So that's just like my own cross to bear. Yeah.
I get that. Even what I eat in a day is I'm like, I can't make this pretty. I try. Michael jokes. He's like, your recipes online are not cute. And I'm like, you know what? The point is it's called a lazy girl's guide. Because I'm lazy and I don't care about the aesthetics. There's this one girl that, I think her name's Nicole something. She just has beautiful, everything's beautiful, like food wise. I think she's a nutritionist. And I'm like, props to you, girlfriend. You got a colorful palette right there. Because even my lighting, I can't get it right.
Lighting's a tricky thing in itself.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
I agree.
Next up, time to burn some sage. Do you know what I mean? They burn the sage, put it there.
I've never done that. Have you?
I've always been fascinated. I was like, oh, I wish I was that person with the new space. We're going to cleanse it. I wish I was that person. It has never crossed my mind when I walk into a new space. I do have sage diffusers, but I've never just saged a place. But it looks nice, but I'd be scared I'd forget about it and burn my house down.
Totally. I saged our new home, but I don't have the classic sage. I had what is it called? They're like little picks, and you burn them. What are they called?
I know what you mean. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know why I'm spacing. Michael loves them. And my friend Courtney bought me sage. And like we didn't have the proper sage. And so we just went around the house with it. Like, even though it's like supposed to be, oh my gosh, do you see Bentley's legs in this video?
Oh, cutie.
I'm like, sir, get out. Sleeping upside down.
Love it.
But yeah, we went around the entire house. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, we saged our house. But I felt like good energy in my house. So I didn't feel like it was bad energy prior. Where there's places I've been that I'm like, there's bad energy in this. And I do believe in saging. I just don't have it. When Kat was over, we were like, we should sage because we were talking about creepy things. And I was like, I'm out. I'm out of them. I need to get them.
Yeah, I love it. So we're going to finish off with, we trashed a lot of things. We promoted our things. What are favorite things to do in the morning? I'll go, you go. We'll get this done. And some tips that have actually worked.
Okay.
So I'm going to start consistent sleep time. It doesn't matter what time you go to bed and wake up. It's different. But I just think it is really good for you to consistently try within an hour, 2 hours to go to bed and wake up at the same time. And I just think you'll actually get better quality sleep. So that's what works for me.
I agree. Mine is pink salt in my water.
Good one.
And I know people are like, what? That's like lemon water. No, it's super easy. I mean, I just have the salt, like pink Himalayan salt from Costco, and then I just like crack it in just the first cup, just to kind of start off my morning. And I've been doing it and I love it. I get headaches if I'm not doing it.
I saw a girl on TikTok get hospitalized for doing the 75 hard. She drank the water, didn't have electrolytes, hospitalized. So there's a reminder why you need salt in your water, not just chug water. You can get a electrolyte imbalance. But on to my next one, simple skincare. Like, we don't have time in the morning. It's better to say efficient, simple, to the point. So I feel every dermatologist is like vitamin C, moisturizer,
hyaluronic
sunscreen.
acid.
True, serum, but that's a lot of time in like moisturizer. But you know what I mean? I think even just having those three, and then if you can get I need more moisturizing, so I'd have moisturizing serum, like hyaluronic acid. But yeah, simple.
Love that.
How about you?
Mine is once a week, do something fun in the morning that you look forward to.
Oh, I like
It doesn't have to be a Friday. It could be a Monday. It could be a Wednesday. Whether it's like grabbing coffee with a friend, maybe going to a workout class with a friend, just do something different in the morning. Because I feel like we get into this Groundhog's Day during the week where it's like, no fun, we're working, whatever.
Yeah.
Do something fun. Remember, it's fun to be alive. And like, that's a big thing Michael and I do, is we try to do things out of our like routine to remind us that we can. And, so that's what we do every Friday. We snorkel, and then we go out and we have coffee in the morning, like outside. We just do a different thing. We invite our friends to snorkel with us. And it's just like a good reminder you're living life and you can do something really fun in the morning. So I like that.
I love that. My next, just move in the morning, whether it be walk outside, anything. I know for myself, I need it for like meditation, but also if I don't get some kind of movement in the morning, the rest of the day I have less energy and I'm really cold. The days I move in the morning, it's like it just gets me going. My energy, blood flowing, and then I'm not freezing and have energy.
Yeah.
How about you?
Mine is usually, I try to do it 3 times a week. I read the first 20 minutes, and I just really enjoy reading. I'm getting back into it. I bought a Kindle, and I used to be a bookworm, and then I just kind of stopped as I became an adult because I was like, I don't have time. When you work for yourself, you're always like, there's always something to do. So now I just like will have coffee, water, and I read for 20 minutes, and I put my timer on, and it's a book I like. It doesn't have to be a self-help book. It's just something that I can like enjoy and just start my day off that makes me happy.
I love that. Simple to-do list. Like, it doesn't have to be elaborate, but for me, I always write out like something like health, 2 or 3 work things, and 1 social thing. And it's like, just if I just do those things, it's a fully successful day. And then you always have your rolling to-do list of 100. You got to get your passport renewed and all those, and I have them at the bottom, and I was like, but I just got to get these 3-4 things done, and the day's a win. And just like especially if you have that at the start of the day, it's easy to have a productive day.
Yeah. So was that your next point?
Yeah, to-do list.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
My next one is drink a full glass of water before I have coffee. And that's just because I will prioritize the coffee and I will not drink water. So I do the pink salt water. And like, I am also somebody that can't have coffee right away because I hit a really, really bad crash if I do it. So I just delay it, but I always make sure to have a full glass of water until I like head over to the Nespresso machine.
I love that. Well, my last point was actually the same, but I'll add on to it. It's hydrate. But I always fill a full water bottle up the night before I go to bed and put it in the fridge. So I just like, you're half asleep, you're like, oh. And then even then me, I'm so thirsty. I'm like waiting for my water bottle to fill up. I'm like, come on. But if I just wake up like, oh, that's so nice and convenient. So I fill up my water bottles the night before.
Love that. My last one is sunlight in the morning. And I mean, of course, depends on where you're at and cold wise, whatever, if you're living in New York and you got to go downstairs. But this is what I think. You let your dog out in the morning. Just go out with your dog. Like if you have a backyard. And I do it for a couple minutes and Bentley goes to the bathroom and like, I just go out with him and get sunlight on your skin first thing. It also helps with your, circadian rhythm? Am I saying that properly?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll help you adjust. Say like I'm going to Washington, so I'm going to go back to Pacific time. It'll help you adjust faster because your body's like, we wake up with the sun. We go to bed with the moon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite one of all time. And people always hate on me. It's like, I live somewhere where there's no sun. I was like, I live somewhere where there's 4 hours of sunlight in the winter. So you just get it when you can if you don't have it in the morning. But try and get it.
Yeah.
So no excuses. No excuses. Grind hard. Go hard, David Goggins. Okay, we're going to finish off with some unhinged moments. Of course, if you want to submit to our confession session, slide into our DMs at Hitting the Bars on Instagram and submit your most unhinged moments for the summer so far. Sav, do you want to hit us with yours?
Yeah. Okay. Mine, I wouldn't say it's like super unhinged, but it's a guilty pleasure and a little lame. And that is I'm 28 and I'm addicted to Sequence. And Michael and I literally almost every night play Sequence. And it's like basically what grandparents play in a retirement home. So it's a little unhinged in my opinion because normal people don't do that. And then there's me. I just love games.
I appreciate the unhinged, the most unhinged thing I've ever heard. I have no
So
comment.
will you not be playing Sequence with me? We're bringing it on our trip.
That sounds too much. I'm a bit more reserved personally, so I don't think I could handle the Sequence.
Reserved? It's a board game.
I was being sarcastic because you're unhinged was rather reserved.
Yeah. It's true. I need to think of a better one. I'll keep you updated. We're going out to San Juan this weekend.
Please do.
Maybe there'll be an unhinged confession.
So our confession is a new game I'm going to challenge all the Hitting the Bars to play, and it's called Bingo. Old school bingo, but the unhinged edition. So at the beginning of each night, you pick one of the girls in the squad, and you're like, we're making you a bingo card, and you've got to accomplish all the tasks. So when we were in Stampede, Amy got the bingo card. She's single, so it was like, get a drink with a cowboy, dance on cowboy stage, make out with a cowboy. And we just made a whole list of, and she had to accomplish as many as she could. And so every night you pick a girl, she gets a bingo card, and it makes for an absolutely amazing time. Especially, and you got to rank it from just like tame, like, oh, have a conversation with a cowboy, to unhinged, I'll let your minds wander, to where you go.
Did she get bingo?
I won't veil where she got, but she accomplished a lot. And
good for her.
I have a TikTok coming that shows exactly what she accomplished, so stay tuned for that.
Love. What a fun idea. That's a great idea to like when you go out, have a girls' night. And I love that idea. I'm going to steal it from you.
Especially because when you do it when you're sober. So there's the consent. There's the sober consent, and then you get to heckle your girls like, you said you were going to do this. You said you'd make out with a cowboy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
There you go.
Okay. Perfect. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for participating, Keltie and me, in confession session. And this was a fun little morning routine. I hope it helps you guys, debunk some of them. I have no idea. But do not forget to head over to our YouTube channel, leave a review, write a lovely comment if you want, follow our Instagram, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for wrapping